You can find it in Jang-e Muqaddas, page 189. I admit right this time that if this prediction goes false, that is, if within 15 months from this date, the party who is on falsehood in view of the law does not fall into Hawiya as death punishment, then I am prepared to undergo every type of punishment. Disgrace me, blacken my face, collar a rope around my neck, or hang me on the gallows. I am ready for all. I swear by the greatness of Allah's glory that He will certainly do the same. Will certainly do the same. Will certainly do the same. Earth and sky may deviate, but not His ordainment. If I am a liar, keep the gallows ready for me, and consider me the most accursed of all the accursed persons, evildoers, and Satan. I repeat, if I am a liar, keep the gallows ready for me, and consider me the most accursed of all the accursed persons, evildoers, and Satan. This was his prediction. Time passed. Days passed. 15 months passed, there was only a night left. What happened? The whole of Qadian come out of their houses. The young, the old, the weak, the male, the female, and they're praying to Allah, Ya Allah, our son may die. Ya Allah, our son may die. They're rubbing their noses on the ground and praying to Allah, our son may die. And they're certain that Abdullah will not live to the next day and see the light of the next day, because their Prophet had prophesied that he is to die within 15 months, and there is only a day left, and he's definitely going to die next day. This is what the people of Qadian are doing. And the Prophet of Qadian, what he did? He's casting spells, magic, for his death. He had charms recited over black drums and had them thrown into dry wells, so that this Abdullah Asam dies by the next day. Next day comes, and Abdullah Asam is still living. Nor does he renounce Christianity, nor does he embrace Islam, and he's alive. Not only is he alive, he lived for another 2 years after this. He should have died by 5th of September 1894. He died another 2 years after this, July 1896. And this has been confirmed by Mirza Gulam Ahmed Qadiani himself in the book Anjami Atham. So he said, if one of my predictions goes wrong, then I am a liar. He further said, if I am a liar, keep the gallows ready for me, and consider me the most accursed of all the accursed persons, evildoers, and Satan. So this is why I consider him the most accursed of all cursed persons, acting upon his own teachings. And this is why we consider him a liar, that he was not a prophet. Because he himself said that if I am a liar, then I am not a prophet. And this is why we believe he was not a prophet. This was one prophecy that went wrong. Let us look at another prophecy that went wrong. He claimed that his marriage, proposed marriage with a woman called Muhammadi Begum, was a sign of his prophethood. Now, Mirza Ghulam Ahmed Qadiani had a relative living in Punjab. He was called Mirza Ahmed Beg, and his daughter was called Muhammadi Begum. He liked this woman. He was overtaken by her, and he wished to marry her. He asked for her hand in marriage, and every time he asked for her hand in marriage, Mirza Ahmed Beg would refuse. Now what does he do? He wants to impress Mirza Ahmed Beg and to scare him. How does he go about doing this? He says that he received a revelation from Allah, and he saw in this revelation his marriage with this woman Muhammadi Begum. And Allah had assured him that he's definitely going to get married with this woman. Firstly. Secondly, if any of the relatives object, then the relatives and this woman, Muhammadi Begum, will be caught up in various different kinds of calamities will fall upon them. This is what he writes. He wrote this on July 10, 1888. He writes, that absolute omnipotent has told me, start negotiations for the elder daughter of that person. The elder daughter was Muhammadi Begum, and that person was Mirza Ahmed Bey. In case of declination from nikah, the end of that girl will be extremely bad, and if she will be married to another person, he, within 2.5 years from, and similarly father of that daughter within 3 years will die. Then in those days, attention was applied again and again for further clarification and details. It came to be known that God Almighty determined that He will bring the elder daughter of that person into nikah of this humble self after removal of each hindrance. Be clear to the evil-minded that in order to judge our truthfulness or falsehood, there can be no greater touchstone of test than our predictions. You can find this in Majmu' Istiharat, Volume 1, page 157, 159. Now he propagated this so forcefully through his letters, through his books, through his leaflets, that if this person, Mirza Ahmed Beg, was a faint-hearted person, he would have given his daughter in marriage. And we look at all the works of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadian, we find that this drama went on for a few years. He begged him, he tried to persuade him, he tormented him, he threatened him. But at the end of the day, Mirza Ahmed Beg was the cousin of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. He didn't budge an inch. Never mind budge an inch, he gave his daughter to one called Sultan Muhammad. Look at his Revelation foretelling, what it said. He said in his extract, if she will be married to another person, he within 2.5 years, blah 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 blah, will die. Basically means that if the husband is going to die within 2.5 years of the marriage, means that the woman will be widowed after 2.5 years of their marriage. The woman will be widowed 2.5 years after she gets married. Unfortunately for Mirza, she wasn't widowed 2.5 years after her marriage. She lived for 57 years after this. Husband and wife happily married. 41 years after Mirza's death, and 16 years in Mirza's lifetime. This is the first thing that's gone wrong with this revelational foretelling. The second thing is written here. If she will be married to another person, he within 2.5 years from, and similarly father of that daughter within 3 years will die. But the husband will die after 2.5 years, and the father of this woman will die after 3 years. Basically means that the son-in-law the son-in-law will die 6 months before the father. If the husband's going to die 2.5 years, and the father 3 years after the marriage, basically means that this husband's going to die 6 months before the father. Yet again he failed, because the husband did not die 6 months before the father. The husband lived for 57 years after the father, and the father died before the son-in-law. And the third place where he went wrong was, he said, he will bring the elder daughter of that person into nikah of this humble self after removal of each hindrance. But Allah will make sure definitely Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani will marry this woman.